In this video we're going to look at the metaphysical meanings and associations of your molars and premolars. They're the big, powerful grinding and chewing teeth on the sides of your mouth. And energetically, these teeth can be related to how you process challenges in your life. This is a great video for you if you have any kind of symptoms with your molars or premolars, such as decay or cavities, receding gums, abscesses, or even if you've got a missing tooth back there. I'll also be talking about what it can mean if your teeth aren't aligned at the back. My name is Melior Sims and I'm the Holistic Tooth Fairy. I'm a natural oral health coach and I help people prevent and heal tooth decay and gum disease with a combination of physical, practical support and what I call metaphysical strategies, which are where we look at the emotional, psychological, spiritual, or energetic influences on your oral health. Please note that I am not a dental or medical professional. I'm self-taught because I had really terrible teeth and I've learned a lot from healing myself and supporting other people. So if you have any serious problems, please do take them to your dentist and use common sense when you're trying to understand the metaphysical influences on a particular tooth. It's really helpful and important to also consider whether it's in the upper jaw or the lower jaw, on the right side of your mouth or the left side of your mouth. And I discuss these 4 quadrants of your mouth and their metaphysical meanings in detail in the first video in the series called Quadrants. So go and check that one out if you haven't watched it yet. It also includes some general guidelines that I really recommend that you keep in mind as you go through the rest of the videos in this series. So pause this, I will wait, and go watch video 1 if you haven't yet, and come back for this discussion of molars and premolars. In traditional Chinese medicine's meridian system, each tooth in your mouth has at least 2 meridians that run through it and connect to different parts of your body and are named for the organs or the main organs they connect to. In traditional Chinese medicine, the meridians associated with your premolars and molars vary according to whether they are in your upper or lower jaw. Upper molars and lower premolars are on the stomach and spleen meridians, which relate to anxiety, self-punishment, hate, low self-worth, and obsession. Lower molars and upper premolars are on the lung and large intestine meridians, which relate to grief, sadness, feeling compulsive or uptight, feeling trapped, controlling or overcritical. In the Psychosocial Framework for Understanding Teeth, developed by Dr. Michelle Caffan, the first premolars relate to your ego, your identity, and your desires. You can explore these in more detail by cross-referencing with the meanings of the right and left, upper and lower quadrants of the mouth that I discussed in the first video. For example, tooth number 5 on the upper right is specifically related to your ability to reach your professional or academic goals. The second premolars, behind the first ones, relate to your creativity, hobbies, and your children. Tooth number 4 can be about how you share your creativity publicly, while tooth number 13 can have more to do with your natural abilities. The first molars relate to status. Teeth number 3 and number 30 on the right, the opposing first molars on the right side, both relate to improving your status professionally or in society. Symptoms in tooth number 19 may be related to your desire to be loved, while number 14 relates to how you express yourself in intimate relationships. The second molars, so those are the very back teeth, the ones adjacent to the wisdom teeth if you have them, or the backmost teeth if you don't have wisdoms, they relate to relationships. Teeth number 2 and 31 can relate to irritating situations in your daily life, particularly at work or in public spaces such as commuting. Tooth number 15 is more specifically about family relationships. These two sets of existing frameworks, traditional Chinese medicine and Dr. Kafan's psychosocial framework, they're just the beginning. They don't provide you with the answers you need, but they do offer you some questions that you can start to ask with curiosity as you become a detective investigating what's the meaning, the healing story behind your own particular symptoms. Chronic oral health symptoms that you've had for a long time or that return again and again can be the physical embodiment of emotional patterns that got established in your childhood or adolescence. If you're watching this, you're probably aware of at least some of those patterns, and you've probably been working on trying to heal them in therapy or in trauma work, energy healing, lots of different ways over many years, but they can still persist in your physical body even after you've sort of worked on the way that they're manifesting in your thoughts and habits and relationships. This can be particularly true in relation to gum problems that are long-lasting, persistent and return year after year. So those gum problems can indicate a lack of stability or security in relation to the particular issues governed by that tooth. Infections and abscesses can be an indicator of internalized anger or frustration that might be in relation to work relationships or work situations if it's on the right side of your mouth, and maybe it's to do with more intimate relationships if it's on the left side of your mouth. If it's an acute infection, that may mean that it's a more short-term type of situational influence. If it's an abscess that's been developing over time, lingering over many months or years, that can indicate a more long-standing pattern of internalizing anger and frustration in these contexts. What about missing teeth? It's pretty common practice for orthodontists to extract premolar in each quadrant. A young teenager is getting braces. And when those teeth are missing, it can weaken your sense of self. This is done very often when young people are trying to establish their own identity and their own independence. So removing the teeth then can really affect someone's psychological maturity as they grow into their own identity as adults. When your upper and lower molars don't meet properly to enable you to chew easily, that can indicate a resistance to deeply engaging in life's challenges, either in the past or as a current pattern. For example, if your jaw is skewing to the right, it could mean that you have a pattern of suppressing emotions or of avoiding issues in your intimate relationships or in your family. If your jaw has skewed to the left, then perhaps it can indicate that you have avoided pursuing a challenging career or taking on economic responsibilities. Remember that these suggestions or speculations about the possible interpretations of metaphysical influences on your molars and premolars are just the starting point for your own explorations, because your healing story will be unique to you. These are not the answers that you're seeking. They're the questions to help you on your journey, your investigation, your curious exploration. In the next video, I'm planning to discuss wisdom teeth and what it means to have symptoms in your wisdom teeth. To make sure you get notified when that and all my future videos are released, subscribe to the Holistic Tooth Fairy channel. So thanks for watching, and remember, you're the boss of your mouth.